5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yo, what's up, y'all? This your boy T-Lo.
Yo, what's Gucci? This your man Tweet.
What up, y'all? DJ Kid Fresh.
What's up? This your boy RL.
And we're next.
And you're rocking with the Rebirth every Monday at 7 p.m.
You know the hits. Rebirth Radio, baby, every Monday, 7 p.m. Shay and Eli. All right, rocking that old school. Peace.
Welcome to the Rebirth. Happy Monday. I'm your host, Shay Marriott.
And it's your boy, Eli Isabel, a.k.a. The South Got Something to Say.
I love it.
Happy Monday, Shay.
Happy Monday, E.
What up, Rebirth family? Philly Jams 95.3. We are in the building, man. Happy Monday to you all. I hope y'all had a blessed weekend. Shay, as usual, you perked up. I see it.
You weren't supposed to tell the people that I wasn't unperked.
Well, I kind of left that to their imagination, I guess. I didn't technically say it, but you told them now.
Listen.
How was your weekend, man?
So I had a good weekend, but I am exhausted, right? I had a good weekend, y'all. So it was Dell State University homecoming. Go Hornets. And I had an amazing
She's all in.
time. Yeah, I had fun. It was fun. I wish I could have stayed longer, but I was down there for most of the day. But it was a great experience. Bro, why when we walked on the campus, right? I'm walking on, and this tall dude with this wide brim hat on, I was like, dang, he looked like Montel Jordan.
Oh, wow.
Why later, it was Montel Jordan.
Oh, this is how we do it, Montel Jordan.
Yes. He was down there. And I walked right past him and was like, God, he looked like Montel Jordan. And didn't realize until later that it was him. So, yeah.
What was he doing? He must have performed.
I think he may have performed for the old school. Yeah, but Dana Dane was performing when we came in.
Oh, wow.
He was performing on the stage, but I don't think people knew who he was.
They had an outdoor stage?
Yeah, right on the basketball courts. So,
the kids did not know who
Charlie
he was.
Mack was there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the kids didn't know who he was because Xavier was like, I don't know who that is. I was like, Lottie Dottie. He was like, yeah, okay, Mom.
Negative. Nothing like that to make you feel your age.
Right?
Damn.
Listen, but it was good. Had a great time. Hung out with Meshach.
Okay.
Yeah,
shout out to
Meshach.
That's what's up.
He made sure I was good. As soon as he saw me, hey, open bar over there, sis. He took care of me. But that's family, right? So
no doubt.
Yeah, so shout out to him. Best Kept Soul was performing.
Okay.
On the side where Meshach was at their event.
Wow.
So yeah, it was pretty cool.
That's dope.
Yup. What about you?
Oh, man. So Friday, of course, is my daughter's homecoming football game. Oh, she's a cheerleader. People say she play football. No, you stupid, man. She's a cheerleader. So she's at every game, which means I'm at every game.
Right.
And then Saturday, it was the homecoming dance.
Yeah.
She was asked to go to homecoming by one of the captains of the football team.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, so
go Hallie Rose.
Yeah, so the captain of the cheerleading team and the captain of the football team went to homecoming.
Okay. Oh, she's the captain of the cheerleader?
Yeah, since 10th grade.
I didn't know she was the captain.
Yeah, last year.
You better go, girl. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm talking about.
Yep. She's El Capitan.
That's what's up.
So he and we had been trying to figure out how to, because I told him when she first told me, he did the whole little homecoming proposal with the poster board and everybody at school. I said, well, tell him he need to come see me. Mm-hmm. And you know, my work schedule was crazy, and he has football practice after school every day. So it was like, I said, well, tell him, because I said I need to see him before homecoming. And so tell him we can do a FaceTime. Okay. I'm okay with that. And so she told him, he says, no, tell your father that I want to meet him face to face.
That's what's up.
And I was like, yeah, I respect that.
That's what's up.
And so Friday night after the football game, we're always in the parking lot tailgating and hanging out. So we're back up there. So Here they come walking toward me. He's still in his uniform, but he had his shoulder pads off. But he comes up and he's like, how you doing, Mr. Isabel? I'm Taj.
Okay.
Firm handshake, eye contact.
Okay.
The whole 9 yards.
Nice.
I'm like, oh wow. I'm impressed by that because
Yeah.
the average kid don't even. That's the basics, and they don't know it.
Exactly.
And so we had our little conversation. I said either he's really a truly respectful kid or he needs an Oscar because he got me. Very good. And then when he showed up, so he comes up, he shows up Saturday. Comes to the house to pick her up. He gets out of the car, has flowers. He comes up, we take pictures and whatnot. How y'all doing? Mr. Bell, how's it going? Blah, blah, blah. I said, listen, I need her home by 12 o'clock. He says, absolutely, no problem. He had her home at 11:39.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
That's
very nice
what's up.
kid. But he's a senior. And she's a junior. So I said, so what's she going to do with this? She was like, nothing. He's about to go to college. What I'm trying to date him for. I was like, you know what? There you go.
Okay.
No false nothing.
She looked beautiful too.
Thank you.
Yeah. What up, Levante? Levante said, but she could play football if she wanted to. I'm just saying, yes, she could.
She could. Girls can do
She
anything.
could. That's right. That's right. Shout out to Taj. Respect,
Yeah, very
man.
good kid, man. Very
Absolutely.
respectful.
It's important.
I was like, dang. Well, I wish you would. If you want to have a boyfriend, I would like it to be him now.
Right.
Yeah.
Now you gonna be stalking Taj.
Nah, I ain't gonna. I'm gonna let him be great. But I told him, I said, listen, she's leaving happy. I want her to come back happy. I said, I don't want her
Right.
spirits to be dampened. He was like, he said, absolutely not. I got you.
Good.
I was like, all right.
And she had a good time.
Go forth, young man. They went to homecoming dance and they went to dinner afterwards. She was texting me, and her mom was on a location like the FBI agent.
Yeah. I
said,
heard
they're
Priscilla in the
fine.
background on
They're
the
fine.
video.
Oh,
I'm
my
getting
God.
emotional.
I don't know. I didn't really listen to the video before I posted it
That
because
was
I would have put
funny.
some music on it because she was killing me. I said, ma'am, please calm down, ma'am. But this is the last peak to the pod.
Yeah.
So it was great. And here's another great thing. Her sister and her brother, they were on FaceTime as we were doing the pictures and everything. Everybody was kind of a part of it in their own little way. So,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice.
So that was
That's
my
special.
weekend. Being a father
Congratulations.
with a kid going to homecoming.
Absolutely.
With a date.
Yeah.
Damn it, man.
Aw.
But yeah, that was it.
You're a
for me.
good dad, though. So
Thank you.
You taught her well, so she's going to be fine.
I hope so. I pray.
She is.
I pray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to worry about that.
All right. So that was my weekend.
Okay.
In a nutshell. Yes, it
Okay.
was.
All right. That's what's up.
Yes.
So we're going to get into
Yes.
right here, right now.
We can get into because right here, right now. I want that to feed into kind of a little bit of what we're gonna talk
Okay.
about. I know we got several things we're gonna talk about tonight, but first I'm gonna do our real quick Black History fact. So I'm watching Vlad TV, and I realized that one of the longest tenured Black actors that probably has not received his flowers is Garrett A. Morris.
Oh, from Martin? Is that the man
I
from
think
Martin?
our generation knows him from Martin and Stan.
Yeah.
But our parents know him from Cooley High and Saturday Night
Oh.
Live. And he was on another show on the CW network. These two broke girls. This was like a white sitcom.
Was it called Two Broke Girls?
Two broke girls. So yeah,
Yeah.
they were waitresses. They were these two white chicks, they were waitresses. But anyway,
I thought you were saying these two broke girls.
No,
And
that's
I'm
the name of the show.
That was the name of the show, right? Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Born in New Orleans, Louisiana in 1937.
Wow.
Yeah. He is still with us, man. Still in his right mind. So I watched his interview and he was talking about everybody he's worked with, from Sherman Hemsley. He was on Different Strokes when Arnold. He was talking about the rise of all of these people that he saw that
Yeah.
he worked with over the years. Glenn Turman, all of the people from Cooley High, and all of the people from Saturday Night Live in the,
So
in the
he was-
early 70s.
He was old when we were still young, like Morgan Freeman. Like Morgan Freeman was old when I was young.
I think Morgan Freeman was born 40. I think when he came out, he had a great goatee. He was 40 already.
What's up, Sherry? What's up, Delisa? Thank you for tuning in.
Hey, y'all. But,
I don't think Morgan Freeman ever gonna die. He just not gonna die. He's not.
You know, now, oh, damn.
He's God.
Now tomorrow, you gonna wake up tomorrow. Damn. Man, you know what happened to me one time? I was talking to one of the kids I work with, right? And they was talking about this kid. They was like, this guy, Pop Smoke. And they was showing me these videos of him, right? And I said, damn, he look like he gonna die any day now. The
Yeah,
next
I
day,
remember
he
you
got
said that.
killed. killed.
Yeah.
So I don't say nothing about, because he was so gangster and acting so in the video. I was like, yeah, he's gonna get killed.
Oh,
and I just
man.
said it to the kid, and so I don't say nothing else about when somebody's gonna die no more.
Yeah.
I'm done. But I just wanted to take a minute to give Garrett Morris his flowers, man. AKA Stan for Martin. Just, a phenomenal old cat. If you get a chance to watch the interview on Vlad TV, the most recent interview with him on there, I learned so much, man. He was talking about the rumors about Sherman Hemsley being gay.
Yeah, so those were rumors?
Well, he didn't confirm or deny. He said he heard them too. So
Okay.
I mean, but you know, it's hard to be gay in the 70s. A gay black man in the 70s. So, but I mean, he was kind of saying, but it was dope,
Right.
man. And did you know that Louise, Isabel Sanford is her real name. She was like 20 years older than George.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
She
I
was
did not
older
know
than George.
that.
They made it do what it do. So yes.
I did not know that. Wow. Okay.
So that's our little Black History thing. I just want to show Garrett Morris some love. I watched the interview and I was like, yo, he's a dope dude.
Yeah.
Dope old cat. Yeah.
Yeah.
86.
86. I'm telling you, he around the same age as Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman, I've never seen him young at all, like ever. Since
There
I've
has
been
to be
alive.
a young picture of Morgan Freeman on the net somewhere. Like a 20-year-old Morgan Freeman. Where's that picture?
I don't know. I think you're right. I think
He
he was
was
born
born
at 40. Oh, God. Oh, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Ooh, child. Okay.
I know we're going to be actually talking about a few different things tonight. But one of the things that really kind of hit home for me, it seemed like it's been a discussion over the last few days, and that's boundaries. And I know we've discussed boundaries before on this show, but I think it's just, this is one of those topics that's ongoing. It's like you have to constantly remind people or remind yourself about the importance of setting healthy boundaries and standing on those boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Implementing them.
Right.
And what does that look like? So why do you think people lack boundaries? Why do you think people have a hard time setting boundaries for themselves? Do they even know what that word is?
I think we have an idea. I think that maybe sometimes we don't set boundaries because we don't want people to think we're acting funny or thinking that we're better than. Because people, if you set boundaries for yourself, whether it be physically, my physical boundaries, my emotional and mental boundaries, and so someone's known you your whole life, and all of a sudden you've learned to protect your spirit and your space. People don't know how to handle that sometimes. So I think people don't set boundaries because they don't want to be looked at as, are you getting brand new or you acting different? Perhaps.
So you're saying perhaps some people look at boundaries as someone, you changing now, you changing
Exactly.
up and setting, okay, all right, okay. I think people don't set boundaries because I don't think they know what it is. I think that's a big problem. I think people don't really know what boundaries are
Right.
and what that, because a lot of people didn't grow up with boundaries.
Well, that is
Right?
true.
So I don't think it's till later in life that you really start to understand what boundaries are. Or you're having the conversation. Like, I constantly make sure I have those conversations with my sons about setting boundaries, within your relationships, within your friendships, setting those boundaries, because it's important. Even in my parenting. I have a great relationship with my sons, and we can laugh and joke, but there's boundaries
Right.
that I set with them. Don't you cuss in front of me.
Right.
I don't cuss at them, and they better not cuss in front of me. Every now and then my son will be like, Mom, can I cuss right now because they just cut us off? Can I just cuss? And I'm like, well, what word are you trying to use? So, but yeah, I mean, it's just a boundary that they don't cross. Now, unspoken boundaries. I've never cussed in front of my mom.
Right. Me either.
That's an unspoken boundary, right? But if I was to do that at 51 in front of her, she'd probably have fussed me out.
As she should.
As she should. But that's just a boundary that I won't cross, that she's never even put in place. But that's just a respect that I have for her.
And boundaries come from, so in this instance, boundaries do, maybe in all of them, but in this instance, your boundaries come from the respect you have for your mother. And there's certain things you don't want to do or say in front of her. So, and I think that has been lost because I think a lot of parents do stuff with their kids that I guess it kind of makes a boundary evaporate. Like if you're doing things that you would do with your friends now with your kids, I think the boundaries slowly disappearing. Like if you start to include them on things that you would do with your adult friends.
Right, absolutely.
So yeah,
Absolutely.
I agree. You have to definitely keep a little space in between you and them.
Yeah.
Because it will upset the balance of the relationship.
Yeah. Delisa said, you're so right. People lack boundaries, but they are so important. I grew up with boundaries. Yeah. Can you put in the chat one boundary that you grew up with, Delisa? I'm just curious. What's up, Priscilla? Priscilla says, I agree. Hi, Regina. Thank you for tuning in. We missed you at Rebirth Live, love. That's the first one you missed. We got to talk. What's going on? Anyway, so I'm going to share a boundary that I have.
Oh, this is a funny one, huh?
No, it's not a funny one. I'm just because there's a few. I've learned to set boundaries for myself. I had to set boundaries. Yes.
As we had this conversation back in 2010.
Right.
You need to set some boundaries.
Well, I had to learn, right? So one boundary that I have for myself, there are certain days where, like, my phone is on Do Not Disturb. Again, I'm in sessions all day. So if you're not in this field, you might not necessarily understand why I don't really want to talk on the phone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you might take that personal and think, I just don't want to talk to you. But no, I'm not answering nobody's calls at a certain time because that's the time that I shut down for myself.
Right.
Right? So I do have a boundary in place where I don't want to talk on the phone after a certain time. Just, you could text me and I may text you back, but I don't want to be on the phone talking.
Yeah.
And that's with, I don't care who it is, right? But that's a boundary that I have to put in place for myself because even when people know what you do, sometimes they take that and they want to dump everything on you or they want to run everything past you. And it's just like, hey, like, I'm off. I'm tired. I just want to, like, relax and chill, watch Netflix. I don't want to solve any problems right now, right? So I had to learn to put those boundaries in place for myself.
Do you think that people do that because this is normal friend stuff? I got to call you because you're my girl. I need some advice. Or because they know if you work, just say if you worked, I don't know, at the mall, would that be the same? Because I don't think you would give of yourself less if you didn't talk to people all day about their problems.
No, so I don't. It's not just close, like close girlfriends. It's not even that. It's anybody. It could be somebody. You know. Yeah, it's usually not anybody close to me that's banging my phone up like that.
So people you talk to periodically.
Yeah. Yeah. So so I have to put those boundaries in place. And it's not that I don't want to talk to them, but it's just that at certain times I don't have the capacity, and I know I don't.
Right.
So I'll get back to them, but I do think that because of what I do, people tend to feel that you can solve and guide them through everything, and that's friends and family. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So.
And I was gonna say, I think that I'm slowly making my way to. And here's the funny part about boundaries: you don't even have to announce it. That's a beautiful thing. Hopefully, people eventually get it. However, I think that for me, it's like with my extended, with my family, not like within my house, but my extended family. I think that there's always so much going on with them from Arkansas to Delaware that I have to really disconnect from it sometimes. And it may look like I don't care, or if I don't comment on something on social media, or if I don't call right when, because there's so much I just feel like that is so much going on all the time in their lives. Like I just be like, how did they do it?
Yeah.
Because I really pride myself on having peace.
Yeah.
Like I have for the most part, I have a peaceful. Thank God, knock on wood. I have a peaceful life, man. And people, I don't think they intend to disrupt it. It's just how their life goes.
Yeah.
So I have to like put that in place for myself.
Yeah.
I think, and I'm learning. I have learned to do that.
Absolutely.
I just let them. I hear something, I be like, ain't nothing I can do about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where there could be, I could probably do something, but I'm not.
But you're not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because and that's a whole nother, because that's going to be the next thing about how we enable people.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's going to be we're going to move over into that. But, so Delisa says her boundary was single people could not sleep together in the same bed in my house growing up. And I still keep that same boundary in my home. Yeah,
I remember that one. Yeah.
Yep, that was definitely something back in the
Well, no
back in the
boyfriends
day.
even. I had a lot of sisters. No boyfriend even spent the night. If they were to be in the same bed together, they weren't gonna be in my mama's house. That had to happen elsewhere. But yeah, I don't remember any dudes. My mom never even had a man over. Like after her, and, there was no other man that came and spent the night. She might have had a gentleman call her come by, but that shit was in the living room.
Yeah.
Where we could all see.
Yep.
So, yep, I'm with you on that.
Levante said, wait a minute, there's a couple here. Okay, wait a minute. She says, I have a current boundary of knowing that I am at capacity. So when people ask me to join certain committee and organizations, I have to say no, because I also know I am not able to give 100%. That I'm so...
They should appreciate that too.
Yep, I feel you on that one. Regina says, I truly understand what you are saying. Time to decompress is so very important for you, for your mental health and well-being. Absolutely. What else we have? You want to read Levante's next?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just laughed at your mom's response. When I had my son, I also placed a boundary initially that people did not take well, and that was not posting him or that I was pregnant for that matter. I just wanted that time to be sacred for me. I did not want to share it with social media world until I was ready.
Yep.
That's because you're famous and you do what celebrities do, Levante. It's okay. People got to pay for them pictures later on down the line of paparazzi. I dig it. That's right, sis.
I know that's right. And my mom says, yes, this is what I have learned from Miss Marriott, but she does text me later. I do text you
You
later,
better
Mom.
pick up that phone
I do.
for Miss Eileen.
I do.
Stop playing. Don't put her on D&D.
Mom always texts when I'm in a session. I'm like, Mom, I'm in a session. It's usually when I'm just logging onto a session. So,
You know what my family does? They're in the middle of the day. They'll try to do a group call, like a meet call. I'm like, yo, I'm at work. Like, what are you like, y'all? None of it. And I think about it. Everybody on that call don't have a job. They either retired, on this, like something that they don't work every day. I'm like, I'm at work, bro.
Yeah.
You be starting to call up. This is Sunday, remember?
One of the things that I practice a lot, and I try to empower my clients to do as well, is people have a hard time saying no. And if they do say no, they'll say, no, I'm sorry. But you don't have no reason to be sorry for saying no. So I always try to keep this in mind. When you're saying no to someone, you're saying yes to yourself. Because someone is getting a yes when you're saying no. Someone is getting a no when you're saying yes. So if I'm saying yes to you all the time, then I'm constantly saying no to myself.
That's true.
And I don't think people really look at it that way. Right?
And people will abuse that privilege.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. What up, Corey? How you doing?
My boy from Florida, stepping in from
Mark?
Yeah, Mark Harris.
What's up, Mark? Thanks for tuning in.
What up, player? He says boundaries are fluid, built by circumstances and decisions. Like relationships, they change as we age and experience. The uniqueness makes you. I agree with that part.
Absolutely.
As we age and get older, it's certain things that we would deal with and put up with that now. I don't have the
tolerate. Listen, and sometimes I don't realize. Like, I know that my tolerance has changed, but that's why it's important to pay attention to your body. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you're starting to feel uncomfortable about something, like, you got to tune in.
Right.
And one thing I've learned about myself is at this age, I can't swallow certain things. So I'm gonna I'm gonna give it to you. And I'm gonna give it to you respectfully, but I'm going to let you know that this is not gonna work for me.
Right.
And it's okay if it works for you, but I will not be participating in it. Right. So I'm
For
very
example.
clear about that. No, we ain't going there. We ain't going there. But I am very clear about that. So being able to understand what your limit is.
That's true.
Is very important, so you're able to convey that to others. But you have a lot of people that they don't want to be upfront about how they're feeling, and they will participate in situations that don't serve them, or they don't want to be there on the strength of, because that person asked me to do it, I'm going to continue to do it. I'm going to continue to do it.
Do you find there was a time, I know for me, I used to feel like when a lot of people called me or needed me, it made me feel important. So I sacrificed my peace of mind and my boundaries for the sake of feeling important. And that was something that I had to, whatever I was lacking, that I needed to fill in that little space with.
Right.
I did that. But there was a time where I felt like, if I feel needed, then I feel important. So even if it chipped away at me emotionally and mentally, I was on it. Like, if you needed me, I'm coming. If you need me to call you back, I'm calling you back.
Yeah.
Not now.
Yeah, I don't want to feel needed now, right? I want to feel not needed, okay?
Exactly. Like, leave me alone.
We got a lot of people tuning in. Go ahead, get them comments going.
Let's see, Corey. Corey. So, okay. Yana says, agree. Boundaries are necessary. That's my baby in Atlanta. What up, boo?
Hey, Anna, how are you?
Corey Wilkinson. So Sherry, Monet, Starling, Morris. By not setting boundaries, it drains all my energy. Thank God I finally learned how. And I think that's important. I don't think most of us know. I think it's a process where we get fed up and then we figure it out. I don't think we know. It's not something we naturally know. So we have to definitely figure that part out. You know what's something I do struggle with? When it comes to kids.
Okay.
Even if I don't work with them. And I give you a prime example today.
Okay.
So I had 2 sessions today, right? So I had the boys with me. So after I meet with one individual while the other one's playing around doing what he's doing. Then I switch them out. You come over here, you can go shoot baskets or whatever. So after that, we went to McDonald's, who's up in Claymont. The McDonald's up there. So we're in there. So as we're eating, we always play this game. It's like, we call it Allo Trivia. So I may say, what does when ice is frozen, when ice is melted, what does it turn into? Just simple stuff. And then they'll hit the table first, they can answer. So this girl comes over, she says, y'all look like y'all having fun. I said, yeah, we're doing all right. She said, so then she says to one of the boys, she was like, do you go to this school? And they was like, because both of them in like a non-regular school.
Okay.
And they didn't even know what them schools were. And I was like, nah. I said, they don't go to any of those schools. And she was like, what are y'all doing? I said, we playing a little trivia. She was like, if I answer a question, could you buy me a McChicken?
What?
Yeah. So I'm looking at her. I said, why you in McDonald's? You don't have no money. She was like, well, I didn't eat lunch today, so I'm hungry. And me and my friend over there, right? So I said to her, yeah. I said, if you answer this question, I'll buy you a McChicken, right? So I gave her the answer within the answer. I asked her 2 questions because she got the first. I said, where is the Washington Monument located? She's like, oh, is this like history? No, don't ask me history. Ask me something like right now. I said, this is like right now. And I said, she's in the 8th grade, goes to PS DuPont. I say, where is the Washington Monument located? She did not know. I say in Washington, D.C. She was like, oh, I knew that. And she was like, so can you? I was like, you didn't get the answer right. I can't do it.
Right.
So then she was like, please, give me one more. So I said, what is the capital of Delaware? She's like, again with the history. I was like, this is not history, ma'am. This is like, she says, Wilmington. I was like, no, absolutely not. I said, Dover. She said, where's Dover?
Oh my gosh.
I was like,
wow. Yeah.
Come on, let me just buy you this McChicken so you can get out of here. And my 2 kids, they're both 5th graders. They looking at her like she's crazy.
Right.
Like, you don't know Dover? You don't know this capital? I didn't ask you the capital of Montana. I asked you the capital of the state you live in. She's like, they don't teach us that no more.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
Yeah.
So they don't teach you finance. They don't teach you about taxes. They don't teach you about the things we should know. And they don't teach you the old school stuff either. So what the hell y'all learning? Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my boundary was that I end up buying her some food, and I'm like that with kids. I don't know, if I see you need me, I just kind of, I do hook up homeless people. Yeah.
So our next topic is we're gonna have to understand boundaries versus hustling. Cause she just hustled you.
She got me for the big chicken. I mean, it's on $1.
She got you.
It's on $1 me, you say.
Corey said, are similar boundaries a part of being equally yoked in a relationship? Honestly, I'm gonna have to say no to that one, Corey. I don't think so. Because I think everybody's boundaries are different. I think your boundaries is based off of your individuality. So even if you're equally yoked in a relationship, you're still individuals. So your boundaries are going to be based off of you as an individual. Now, you may have boundaries as a couple that you might put in place, that you set, as a couple. But if we're talking about like individual boundaries, I don't think it has anything to do with you being equally yoked in a relationship. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't know. When I think of equally yoked, I think of biblical and us being the same religion and things of that nature. Yeah, I think
because for example, okay.
Boy.
Since you went there, Corey.
Oh boy.
There's things that I know Shay Marriott, at this time in my life, I don't tolerate. I can't tolerate as an individual. Now, that might be something that the partner I'm with, they may have a little bit more lax, maybe a little bit more relaxed on those boundaries. But for me, it might be something that nope, I can't do it. Now, if it's affecting us as a couple, then my boundary versus his boundary, that's something that we would have to discuss. Right? Because it's affecting us as a couple. But if it's affecting you individually and it's not affecting me and you're okay with that, then that's on you. Don't expect me to participate in it, though. You know what I'm saying? So I think when it comes down, and maybe that's where you're going with this, Corey. I think if it's affecting you as a couple, then I can see it going over into that area. But if it's just affecting you as an individual,
it's up to you to put a
then
stop.
that's on you because it's not,
Yeah.
What do you think?
I agree. Like if it's something, because you think about when you're in a relationship with somebody, there could be stuff going on with their family and they're tolerating it, and you're like, I wouldn't be dealing with none of that shit right there, and I stay out of it, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Because that doesn't work for me. But if you choose to continue to entertain that,
exactly,
that's on you. But and if you ask me my opinion, I'm gonna tell you need to let that go because it's affecting you. But now if that starts to affect us, then we got a problem.
Right.
But I think we deal with stuff like that all the time. It could be an issue at work. It could be anything. And if you continue to deal with it, then you're, and it don't affect me, and I'm telling you what, my opinion on it, and then that's on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So when do you feel for yourself? When do you feel that you need, how do you know you need to set a boundary with someone?
If that person, if it's starting to stress me, if it's starting to affect me in any adverse way, I have to let you be, and I don't love you any less. I just have to look out for. And here's the thing about protecting your peace. It looks real selfish on the outside, from the outside looking in. But I just think it's something I've learned probably the last 5 to 10 years. I think we have to do a better job of doing that, and it may look selfish, but and that's okay if it looks selfish, because I've given you a lot over the years, and now I have to set this limit with you.
I'll call it self-full, self-full, because I think too. So, and my mom is on here, and she can back me up on this. She knows, because of what I do, I'm very mindful about what I allow come into my psyche, right? So I don't watch the news every day. If I do turn the news on, it's usually for the weather, but I really try not to be watching the news like that. I try not to take in too much negativity unless unless it's just entertaining.
And
you know
the
what I'm
news
saying?
is all
I'm watching
negative.
TV. Right.
80% of it.
But even within conversations and stuff, like if I'm feeling drained and I'm on the phone and all I'm hearing is something it's all bad news, I will quickly say, you know what, I can't do this right now. Let's I will end the call. Let's talk about this later, or let's change the subject. And it's not that I don't want to hear it, but it's just a boundary that I have within myself that I know what my capacity is. And I also know that I don't have to really subject myself to things that I don't want to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's important. E asked a very good question. She says, how did your boundaries change as you got older? Do you care less or care more? That's the 2 questions for me.
Listen, if she knew what's less than I don't give a damn. There's some things that I just don't care. Like, and that does happen because, like you say, Shaya, I think when we start to become over, and it's always with other people's stuff.
It's other people's stuff, yeah.
Like when our little hard drive is full, and this other people's stuff, 80% of it is other people's stuff. Trust me. And once you realize that, and you can feel the stress and the pressure leaving you.
Yeah.
And as you get older, you realize what's important. Like, I know that I don't have another 50 years on earth.
Right.
So as you get older, even in your mid 30s and your 40s, you realize that you don't have as much time as you have, before ahead of you as you have behind you.
Yeah.
So you want to, have your days and all these quiet, moments that are good for you. You don't want to just be dealing with a bunch of stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Other people, and especially other people's stuff. So as you get older, you do realize what's important, and peace is important.
Yeah. Iana, to answer your question for me, I care less about what others think, and I care more about me. So that's a 2 answer there. I think it's both. I care less about, how others may feel about what it is that I choose for myself, but I care more about me, because I have to preserve myself. I have to preserve me, and it's important to do that. Like you said, I think too that we really don't learn or understand who we really are until we do reach a certain, I don't want to say a certain age. It could be something you experience that quickly opened the light. Showed you the light about a lot of things in life, So once you kind of start to identify who you are, what what you're supposed to be doing, what's important, and you will then start to be able to create the life that you really want to live for yourself, which I like to call it my rich life. So being able to create your own happiness is something that you can do. And I think a lot of us grew up thinking that we had to have certain things to be happy, or certain people in our lives to be happy. But the whole time, we were the authors of our own story. We can create this. We can create our own happiness. But it takes you going through something to really understand that. For me, it took me going through a divorce for me to realize that I can create the life that I want. I can create my own happiness, and I've done that, and I'm doing that. So my boundary is, I will not allow anybody to come and interrupt what I've created. I don't care who it is.
Right. And you know what? One key thing you said
Period.
About creating.
Sorry, I had to do that. Period.
Don't throw that in there. Don't throw that in there. I ain't gonna say that part though.
You better not.
I'm not, girl. But you know what? I think the one thing we also thought was having a lot of money, or having a certain amount of money, was made for a rich life. And at this age now, I do understand. Of course, you need money to pay. You need money to live, right? But there are so many other things, that non-monetary things, that make my world go.
Yes.
And money is like the least of them all. Just my internal happiness, the happiness of my family. Like, those are the things that make me feel rich.
Yeah.
When everybody's cool, they're in a good place. Like, to me, that's rich to me. Money. Of course, we need it, but.
Yeah, I don't think because you know what, and I want you to get some of the comments. We got some good comments coming in. Money is not. I agree. I think that the ideal that money, if I have money, I'm gonna be happy. But man, people that are filthy rich are committing suicide every day.
Absolutely.
Every day.
Rich folk.
Right? So, that's definitely not. I can't sit there and say that, man, if I had more money, I would be much happier. No. I'm not putting my happiness on layaway or be on delay because I'm not filthy rich. I'm rich in what God has for me. And I feel like I'm living a rich life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm living my rich life. It might not look like, Oprah and, Beyonce and Jay-Z, but I'm living my rich life.
Absolutely. Miss Eileen says, yes, when I bring it, she will give me that look. And that is the end of the one-sided conversation. Jeez.
All right, Mom. It's time for you to log on.
Miss Eileen, stay with us. Stay with us. Levante said, Mom is cracking me up tonight. Miss We was on one. Iana says, I gotta preserve me. I love that Shay.
You're welcome, love.
Delisa says, oh, my girl. All right. Yes, my peace is so important to me, and I will not allow anyone or anything to disturb it. So, Delisa, I have a question for you. Being that you and Bishop, you guys deal with people, they say the church is the place where the sick goes to get healed, right? So you guys are not constantly, I'm just guessing. You guys deal with a lot of people who have issues, mental, emotional, family issues, marriage issues. How does that weigh on you, even though you're doing it in the spirit of God and trying to bring people to their salvation? But does that take a toll? If you could respond to that, does that take a toll on you, even when you're doing it in the spirit of the Lord? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's when she'll be like, Nut, we need a lunch.
She got to decompress.
We need a lunch. But yeah, put it in the chat, Delisa. Your answer to that.
Wow. All right, I think we caught up right now.
Yeah.
On the comments. Thank you guys for being active tonight.
Yeah, for
I definitely
sure.
appreciate y'all, man.
See, and you know what? This wasn't even something that we planned to talk about tonight because we actually had a guest tonight, guys. And unfortunately, I think there was a transportation issue, but she was not able to make it tonight. And it was. And I'm not saying this jokingly, okay? I'm really being sincere when I say this, but it was laid on my spirit to talk about boundaries because I just felt like over the last couple of days, boundaries have been like a big thing.
It's
been a big thing.
The Lord laid that on your heart.
So it was laid on my spirit. So she says, just like you guys, it takes a huge toll. So we set boundaries as well. Mm-hmm.
So okay, I have a follow-up question to that.
Oh Lord.
So I want to understand what that looks like when it's a church parishioner from your flock who needs you. Like, how does that? Because I think that's a different level of responsibility than you and I saying, well, you got to call crisis because it's after hours. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's a different level of responsibility to me.
Right. So
we can say call 800, blah, 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 and they got to do that.
Yeah. So while she's answering that question, I know that over the years I've done a lot of work with churches, local churches, including Bishop and Pastor's Church, in regards to trainings, and because I know for them, they both understand what might be something that's more of a mental illness versus something that they can handle, right? So we kind of use this word in our practice when we know things are out of our wheelhouse, right? So being able to know that this requires something a little bit more than what I can give. They're very good at referring or saying, hey, can you connect me to a therapist for this person or something like that. And vice versa. There's been people that I've worked with that we've done our therapy portion, but they're dealing with something spiritual.
They need the Lord.
As to when it comes down to what their role is as a husband or a wife. And because I know that's something that they want to focus on, then I will refer them to Bishop and Pastor, because that's what they do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I think that some churches are becoming more aware and are incorporating mental health as part of, you know, some of their programs. Not all, but a lot of them are. And I know Levante's on here, and I know she's also have worked with churches in the past as well.
Right.
Of just normalizing mental health in that community. So it's important.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for me, and I'm gonna find me a church home at some point here. That is the goal. Oh, you're good. That is the goal. And I don't know what's really stopping me. I do know what's stopping me. I think I keep looking for my church back home that I grew up in.
Oh. Okay.
And I know for a fact I'm not gonna find it out here. I'm not gonna find that little intimate space with these good old country folk in there, and you know, we're not talking prosperity. People are actually trying to save your soul. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with all of those things right there, but I think I'm stuck in a time where, you know, because I'm stuck in a time where life was good for me. What?
Okay. Oh man, I'm looking at the second comment, but go ahead. She said she know what's stopping you. LOL. But yeah.
I don't even know. Well, you can tell me, but not on the chat.
So Delisa says she was responding to your question, Eli. She said wait a minute. When it's over our heads, we will refer them to the professionals. Also, after giving certain advice, we will not deal with any other issues until they have followed the first set of instructions. Because some will just waste your time because they want someone to talk to. Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Okay. But that's good, because you don't hear a lot of people say, because people want to handle everything in-house. And they believe that, some churches believe that all you need is just spiritual counseling. And then everything will work itself out.
Yeah.
So I like that answer, and I think that's dope that they don't just try to solve everything.
Yeah.
In-house, because sometimes you need something else.
Yeah.
You got to have the Lord, but you need something else too, in addition to, and that's okay. So kudos to y'all, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. So is there any areas in your life that you feel, as we're having this conversation, are there any areas in your life that you feel you need to implement more boundaries?
Probably with the homeless and kids. Now that you told me I got played today. But you know what? Here's my thing. Because I grew up without a lot. When I say without, meaning, you know, and I'm thinking when you're a kid, you're thinking monetary things. You know, I'm thinking clothing, I'm thinking this and that, things that you need. And so I can relate to kids who are in the struggle. Okay. And the struggle today is more pronounced because of social media. You can, I struggled in Turl and only people in Turl knew it.
Right.
Now, if I struggled in Turl, people everywhere could know it.
Right.
So it's a different kind of struggle. So I think, you know, I've bought school uniforms. I've done all kind of things that if the state of Delaware knew I was, they'd be like, no, you can't do that. You're crossing boundaries. But I don't care, because sometimes the right thing to the state of Delaware, I mean, the wrong thing to do to them is really actually the right human thing to do. Like, if we're here to help people, let's help them. But it's up to us to know if we feel like we're being misused in the process.
Right.
But when it comes to kids, I don't know. I just feel like, especially somebody that reminds me of me and the little struggle. And today, I bought a large pizza for a family. One of the other kids said he was hungry. So when I said, they was like, you know, Mr. Ed, can you hook me up with some grub? This is what I was taking the one kid with me that I work with.
Yeah.
I says, when I come back. So after we did my thing with the brother, I got a large pizza for everybody. So I don't know. It's just a thing for me, and I don't know. I would feel bad even if you're misusing me. That's okay, because I did it from a good place.
Absolutely.
So that's gonna be your thing to deal with later.
Yeah.
Because I did right by you.
Absolutely.
In my mind. So, but yeah, I got to set these boundaries with these cheering and these and the homeless people. I bought a dude a cup of coffee outside of Wawa this morning. A dude.
That's nice. I'm gonna come.
I spend about $25 a day on people that I don't know.
I'm gonna follow him around all day, right? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna show up in areas that you go. You go to Wawa. Where else you be at?
No, I'm not telling you.
Listen.
Hey, Priscilla, say, Mary, I'm cutting off his money. But and you know, and even Priscilla's gotten better about she used to be like, hell no, you ain't giving nobody no money. I don't want them. They might touch my hand. I'm like, yeah, you stop all that. So even now, she'll tell me, oh, guess what I did today? Or she'll just casually mention. I'll be like, okay, you coming around. You know, if people are scamming, let them scam. If I give you $2 and it ain't gonna hurt me, that ain't my last $2.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're gonna go get high with that, maybe that's one less scandalous thing you gotta do to get that $2 to hurt somebody else. So, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Tasha, you got any boundaries? She said no. She can't think of none right now.
Tasha, you got no boundaries?
That's a problem. Levante said, listen, it's people like you that we need. Keep doing the beautiful work. Eli Isabel.
Well, thank you, Levante.
Oh, heart.
My hype woman.
Your hype woman. Yo, that video was hilarious. It was hilarious.
Levante had me going.
Yeah.
Had me out cutting up on that hip, girl.
So while we're continuing the conversation, is there ever a time where you think that you shouldn't put boundaries in place, or your boundaries need to be checked? Is there ever anything that you could think of? What about thinking about
like it's too hardcore? Like
yeah. Like, is there something that maybe, like, just think about a couple or someone that's married and.
Well, I've said this before, but I think I'm softening in my approach to this because I've said on here before that, like, I used to have a thing where I only wanted to work with like black kids, right? And I used to be like, if you're white and you are struggling and you're out here doing crazy stuff, it's your fault because you're white and you're wasting your whiteness.
You're wasting your privilege.
You're wasting your privilege.
What you're saying.
Yeah,
okay.
Like. Why are you doing all this nonsense when you don't even have to do any of that and you're gonna be okay? So I used to be like, you come from a 2-parent household, your parents have money, you're stable, you should be fine. But I've learned over the years, those things really don't matter. And I used to want to pour all that energy into black kids who came from a single home, who struggled. But I've learned that I had to put that down. I've learned that, kids are kids and circumstances are circumstances regardless of your race and your socioeconomic position. And most kids are in a way because of their parents, not necessarily because of the circumstances. Financially, they're okay, their life's not going to get cut off, they have plenty of food, but it's 1 million other things that have them jacked up.
Yeah.
So I had to get that out of my head. I guess that was a boundary that I had to it was kind of like, damn, don't give me no white kids. I just wanted, because I feel like they're going to be okay in the end, but they're not if they don't get what they need. So that's one thing, I guess.
Okay.
That sound harsh?
No. I mean, I think that's part of being self-aware too, right?
Yeah.
A lot of times our boundaries do come in place when we become more self-aware. Either we implement them or we remove them, because maybe we do have a boundary that's a little bit too harsh, and we have to remove it. But so what happened?
Read Tasha's comment.
I need to set boundaries. I feel like if I set boundaries, I wouldn't be accepted. I think that
that's real though.
She said hashtag
some people
my
feel
issues.
That way.
No, I definitely think that that is a real thing. Wanting to be accepted, but so if you was to come in my office, then I would have been like, okay, so when was the first time that you felt not accepted? Like, where is that coming from? You know what I'm saying? Because that's the word. She said
at
kindergarten at the sandbox.
I let them throw the sand on me and I didn't say nothing.
So then here's the thing, right? So when we hear something like that, then usually the outcome is, because we don't set boundaries, because we want to feel accepted, we usually get everybody's bull crap. We usually accept everything from everybody.
That's true.
And it puts us in a state of depression, hurt, pain. It's coming out somatic wise. We got high blood pressure. We got all kinds of stuff going on, headaches, because all of that stuff builds up. it builds up. A lot of people walking around with high blood pressure, migraines, all kind of different physical ailments, and it's honestly coming from stress.
Other people's stuff, not necessarily yours.
Stuff. It is other people's stuff. Hey, Sharon. Sharon says, at Tasha, people who don't accept you because you have set boundaries are only offended because they can no longer use you for what they need. You have to set boundaries to keep yourself sane and safe. Absolutely.
Agree.
Absolutely.
That's the OBM.
Yes, I know who Sharon is.
Well, listen, can I tell you this quick thing I saw really quick before we get out of here?
What's that?
So I'm gonna make this really quick, and then we'll wrap up on our topic tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched this documentary over the weekend. Huh?
You set a boundary for us to wrap up.
No. I'm just saying. I know we're
ahead.
getting close. So it was called The Cotton Picking Truth.
Oh yeah.
Still on the Plantation. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't.
So it's about this lady. This documentary was done in 2008. It's about this lady down in Mississippi who was still a slave in 1960. So that's a whole nother thing right there. But however, and it was interviewing her. But Dick Gregory was a part of this documentary, and he was talking about how the power. No, this was 2008.
I was great.
This is 2008.
Okay, my bad.
Nah. Dick Gregory in 2008 said, when he was alive, he was talking about the power of the African woman, the black woman. And he was saying, if we notice, so when the slaves came here, they came to the East Coast. A lot of them came down to Jamestown, Virginia, and then they kind of dispersed throughout the South, right? And he was saying, if you notice, hurricanes, they always begin off the coast of West Africa, which is where the slave ships originated from, right? And he was saying hurricanes stay underneath the water until they start to hit the Caribbean. And then they rise up. And then they always come and they hit the east coast of southern Florida, and they make their way up. Where black women, African women were mistreated and raped and pillaged the most.
Wow.
And he says, you never noticed there are no hurricanes on the West Coast? The slaves didn't arrive on the West Coast. They came from West Africa to the eastern coast of the United States. And I was just like,
that's deep.
Damn, that was deep. And I was like, it can't be no truth to that. But it kind of like, when you think about it, could there be some truth to that?
Wow.
Because of the way African black women were treated. I said African black women. Because of African.
Okay, we know what you meant.
Yeah, it's like my brother saying, you a white honky. Like, this, it's an oxymoron. But yeah, I was like, I thought that was so crazy.
Yeah. And
he says there is a place in Maine, and I'm gonna end it with this. He says where Canada and Maine says you can put your foot over that line and you're in Canada. And he says hurricanes go all the way up to Maine, and then they go out into the water. You ever known a hurricane to hit Canada?
That's 100.
Never. Because Canada was there to help slaves to escape. They weren't a hindrance to Africans. And I was like, yo, that's crazy. Because there's never been a hurricane to hit Canada. And Canada, the eastern part of British Columbia, Canada, sits on the ocean too.
Wow. That's deep.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Go
that
Dick
is.
Gregory.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all I got. I just wanted to say that.
In conversations where you be, what do he smoke weed?
Dick Gregory?
Yeah.
He smoked a lot of Newports.
That seemed like that conversation was kind of fostered from that type of moment.
It probably could have been, but it almost make a little sense. Like, why don't hurricanes hit Canada? Why do they only hit the eastern part of this country and the south, where the slaves were, the Gulf Coast?
Yeah.
Think about
we need
it.
to start changing the names of them hurricanes, because I haven't heard no black woman's name as a hurricane.
Yeah, that's true. You want a Hurricane Shaniqua? Which black are you? Want to go old school black or new school black? Hurricane Bertha
Hurricane Ruth.
or Shaquana?
That's my mom's name, Ruth.
All right, we got to get these ethnic hurricane names now.
Yes. Oh, man. Thank you, guys. Y'all have been a great audience tonight. Thank you for chiming in and sharing your feedback, your experiences. And I hope that you walk away being able to set one boundary for yourself. So if something that is not serving you or making you feel drained, not feeling your best, perhaps it's time to set a boundary. And remember, when you're saying no to someone or to something, you're saying yes to yourself. Thank you again for tuning in. We are here every Monday night at 7 p.m. at the Rebirth. Eli?
Hey, y'all have an awesome week, man. Lord willing, we will see you next week.
Good night.